The Zephyrian mining colony of Kepler 442b had been silent for 3 standard cycles when Commander Vextai received the automated distress beacon. The signal was weak, fragmented, but unmistakably desperate. Through the crackling static, only fragments came through. Under attack. Unknown hostiles. Requesting immediate assistance. Coordinates follow. Vexithai's mandibles clicked nervously as he studied the tactical display. Kepler 442b was a backwater mining world, barely worth the fuel it took to reach it. But the Galactic Confederation had strict protocols about distress signals, especially from civilian populations. As commander of the nearest patrol fleet, he had no choice but to respond. Set course for the Kepler system, he ordered his bridge crew. Maximum warp. The journey took 6 standard hours. When they emerged from hyperspace, Vexthai's 3 hearts nearly stopped beating. The mining station orbiting Kepler 442b was gone, not destroyed, but completely absent. Where a sprawling industrial complex should have been, only empty space remained. Debris fields that should have marked a battle were nowhere to be found. "Sir," his sensor officer, a young Altarian with nervous tendrils, spoke up. "I'm detecting massive energy signatures on the planet's surface. Multiple impact craters, each approximately 50 kilometers in diameter." "Show me," Vextai commanded. The main screen flickered to life, displaying the planet's scarred surface. What had once been a thriving mining operation was now a hellscape of glass and molten rock. But that wasn't what made Vexthai's blood run cold. It was what was rising from those craters. Ships. Massive, angular vessels unlike anything in the Confederation's databases. They moved with predatory grace, their hulls seeming to absorb light rather than reflect it, and they were heading directly for his fleet. "Unknown vessels, this is Commander Vextai of the Confederation patrol ship Harmony's Edge. Identify yourselves immediately." The response came not in words, but in action. Energy beams, blindingly bright and impossibly precise, lanced out from the lead ship. The Harmony's Edge's shields held for exactly 2.3 seconds before collapsing entirely. Vextai barely had time to order an emergency transmission to Confederation Command before his ship was vaporized. The message that reached the Galactic Confederation's headquarters on Proxima Station was brief but terrifying. Unknown hostiles. Technology far superior. Fleet destroyed. Recommend immediate, then silence. Within hours, every major news network across the galaxy was broadcasting the same story. The Confederation's most advanced patrol fleet had been eliminated in minutes by an unknown force. Panic spread through the core worlds as species after species recalled their distant fleets and reinforced their home systems. High Admiral Korthax, a battle-scarred veteran of the Andromedan War, stood before the Galactic Council with grim resolve. "Esteemed representatives, we face an existential threat. Our analysis of the energy signatures suggests weapons technology centuries beyond our current capabilities. We must assume these hostiles pose a clear and present danger to all civilized life in the galaxy." The Altarian ambassador's tendrils writhed anxiously. "What do we know about them? Where did they come from?" "Unknown," Korthax admitted. "But they responded to a distress signal, which suggests they're actively hunting for targets. I recommend we mobilize the entire Confederation fleet and—" "Sir!" An aide burst into the chamber, his scales flushed with panic. "We're receiving a transmission. It's from the hostiles." The chamber fell silent as the main screen activated. Static filled the display for several moments before resolving into a figure that made every being in the room recoil in instinctive fear. The creature was bipedal, roughly humanoid in shape but wrong in every conceivable way. Its skin was pale and soft-looking, devoid of proper scales or chitin. Sparse hair covered its head in chaotic patches. Most disturbing of all were its eyes. Small, forward-facing predator's eyes that seemed to look directly through the screen at each member of the council. When it spoke, its voice was calm, almost conversational, which somehow made it infinitely more terrifying. "Greetings," the creature said in perfect galactic standard. "I am Captain Sarah Chen of the United Earth Navy. We received a distress signal from this sector and responded accordingly. We've encountered hostile forces and neutralized the immediate threat to civilian populations." High Admiral Korthax found his voice first. You destroyed our patrol fleet." The human, for that's what the creature had called itself, tilted its head slightly. "Your vessels opened fire on our rescue ships. We defended ourselves. Our rules of engagement are quite clear on this matter." "Defended?" The word came out as a strangled hiss. You obliterated them in seconds. Yes, Captain Chen replied matter-of-factly. We tend to be efficient. Now, regarding the situation here, we've eliminated the devourers that were consuming this world. Our xenoarchaeology team is studying their remains to better understand their technology. We should have preliminary results within 48 hours. The council chamber erupted in a cacophony of panicked voices. The beings who had destroyed Kepler 442b had been neutralized by these humans. Captain Chen continued speaking as if she hadn't just announced the casual destruction of a species that had terrorized the galaxy's most advanced civilizations. We've also recovered approximately 7,000 survivors from the mining colony. They're currently aboard our medical frigate receiving treatment. Should make full recoveries. How? The question came from the Zephyrian delegate, her voice barely a whisper. How what? How did you defeat them so easily? Our best analysts estimated it would take the entire Confederation fleet to even damage their ships. Captain Chen's expression grew puzzled. The Devourers? They're a Class 7 hostile species. Dangerous to primitive civilizations, certainly, but hardly a significant threat. We've been hunting them for decades. She paused, studying the faces of the council members through the screen. This is our first contact with your civilization. I have to ask, what's your current technological classification? High Admiral Korthax's voice was barely audible. We consider ourselves a Type 2 civilization on the Kardashev scale. Something like sympathy crossed Captain Chen's features. That explains the confusion. You're still in your expansion phase. Don't worry. That's perfectly normal for a young galactic civilization. Most species go through this period. She smiled, and somehow that expression was more terrifying than any weapon. We've been monitoring your development for some time. You show promising signs of eventually achieving peaceful coexistence. Once you reach Type 3 status, we'll be happy to formally welcome you into the broader galactic community. Broader community? The words came out as a croak. Oh yes. There are quite a few of us out here. Humans just happen to be the local peacekeepers in this arm of the galaxy. Someone has to keep an eye on the younger species after all. The transmission ended, leaving the council chamber in absolute silence. In the months that followed, everything changed. The Confederation's understanding of their place in the universe shifted fundamentally. They were not the apex of galactic civilization. They were toddlers being watched over by giants. And somewhere in the vast darkness of space, other distress signals would be sent. And the humans would answer.